Hello everyone, our topic this week was requested by Ninjammer726 and David Marlin. We'll be going over Scorpion from the Mortal Kombat franchise.
Alright, so before we go into Scorpion himself, we do need to touch, at least briefly, on two things. One, his clan, and two, the wonkiness of the Mortal Kombat timeline. First, the timeline thing. Because I like to reverse orders. Very briefly, the Mortal Kombat games have an in-universe canonical timeline reset, as in, this timeline reboot actually happened inside of the story of the MK universe, rather than just being a developer choice. For Scorpion's purposes, all that matters for this reboot is the fact that it happened. For more detailed information on the reboot, check out last week's video on Raiden, who caused the reboot, here.
Next, Scorpion's clan. Scorpion is a ninja, a member of a ninja clan called the Shirai Ryu. This is important to his personal story because the Shirai Ryu are a sort of splinter group or offshoot from another ninja clan known as the Lin Kuei. The Sub-Zeros are famously members of this ninja clan. And the history of these two clans plays a major role in Scorpion's life, so we're going to go over the important notes of these two clans' long history. Ages ago, a member of the Lin Kuei abandoned the clan, leaving the country and eventually founding his own ninja clan, the Shirai Ryu. The problem was, leaving the Lin Kuei clan was a crime punishable by death. The Shirai Ryu's founder knew this, though, and avoided assassination attempts for several years, giving him time enough to form his own clan, the Shirai Ryu, before finally being poisoned to death in his later years of life. Because of these events, the two clans have had a Montague and Capulet-like blood feud ever since, with the Lin Kuei holding the Shirai Ryu's existence as a black stain on their clan's proud history, while the Shirai Ryu blamed the Lin Kuei for their founder's assassination.
Keeping these events in mind, during the original timeline before the events of the first Mortal Kombat game, an evil sorcerer by the name of Quan Chi hired both the Shirai Ryu and the Lin Kuei to help him acquire an important artifact, without telling either side that he had hired the other. Each clan sent one of their best, Bi-Han, also known as Sub-Zero from the Lin Kuei, and Hanzo Hasashi, also known as Scorpion from the Shirai Ryu. As they were both after the same artifact, the two crossed paths on the mission and engaged in battle, a battle that Hanzo lost, dying at Bi-Han's hands. Hanzo Hasashi was born to a member of the Shirai Ryu clan years before, and we know that his father did not want Hanzo to become a fully fledged member of the clan, because he wanted more for Hanzo than the life of an assassin. However, despite his father's wishes, Hanzo Hasashi joined the ranks of his ancestral clan, partially in order to provide a life of comfort and stability for his wife and son. As a ninja, Hanzo excelled, eventually becoming one of the Shirai Ryu's greatest warriors, a master of the various deadly arts practiced by the clan: stealth, unarmed and weaponized combat, poisons, all the classics you expect from a ninja. He was particularly gifted with a spike and chain style weapon, which is how he earned the moniker Scorpion. When he died, Hanzo's soul was sent to the Netherrealm, basically Hell, and was plucked up by the same sorcerer, Quan Chi, who had kind of gotten him killed in the first place. Using his foul magics, Quan Chi revived Hanzo as a Wraith or Revenant. Now, going only by Scorpion, Hanzo literally burned with fiery vengeance. As a Revenant, Scorpion retained his intelligence, experience, and resultantly all of his skills as a masterful warrior of the Shirai Ryu, but now, in addition, he possessed supernatural abilities, able to conjure hellfire to burn his foes, teleport about at will, and wreath his weaponry in burning flames, even summon undead minions to bind his foes so that they could be more easily dispatched.
New powers in hand, Scorpion's lust for revenge on Sub-Zero, his murderer, was stoked by Quan Chi, allowing the sorcerer to manipulate the ninja to do his bidding for some time. Not long after his revival as a Revenant, Scorpion had a second chance to defeat Sub-Zero when the latter traveled to the Netherrealm at Raiden's behest, but Scorpion lost a second time. Even later, during the events of Mortal Kombat 1, Scorpion entered the Mortal Kombat tournament, knowing that Bi-Han, Sub-Zero, would be there. Third time's the charm, so they say, and when the two fought once again, Scorpion proved victorious, slaying Sub-Zero and claiming vengeance for the life that had been stolen from him. But that he now still had. With superpowers even. During Mortal Kombat 2, Scorpion entered the tournament again when he heard that Sub-Zero was also participating. He wasn't sure how his old enemy had survived, but he planned to face him again and make certain that death stuck this time. However, upon arrival at the tournament, he discovered that the Sub-Zero in attendance was Kuai Liang, Bi-Han's younger brother, who had taken his elder brother's title in order to honor him. For some reason this caused regret or something on Scorpion's part, and instead of fighting Kuai Liang, Scorpion quietly vowed to protect the younger Sub-Zero in order to atone for slaying Kuai Liang's older brother. Don't ask us why.
This oath turned out to be a great thing for Earthrealm, that would be our world and thus generally the good guys, because later, when Outworld's ruler, Shao Kahn, tried to invade Earth, he inadvertently broke Scorpion free of his bindings to Netherrealm, allowing him to walk free on Earth, no strings attached, for the first time since his death. Now a free agent, Shao Kahn enlisted Scorpion's aid against Earthrealm's warriors. However, once Scorpion realized that Sub-Zero was among them, he honored his vow to protect Sub-Zero and turned on Shao Kahn, helping to tip the odds in Earth's favor, eventually defeating Outworld's forces as a result. Sometime later, Quan Chi informed Scorpion that at some point after his death, Scorpion's wife, his son, and his entire clan had been slain by the Lin Kuei, and that Sub-Zero in particular had been the one to kill Scorpion's family. Utterly enraged, rage and vengeance are defining characteristics of his personality, Scorpion sought to kill Kuai Liang, just as he had his brother. He tracked Sub-Zero down and defeated him in battle, only to have Quan Chi appear, and it was revealed that it was actually he who had slain Scorpion's clan and family, and that Quan Chi simply wanted Scorpion's aid in killing off Sub-Zero. Quan Chi then tried to banish Scorpion back to the Netherrealm. However, Scorpion managed to pull Quan Chi with him into the portal, taking them both to a level of the Netherrealm they weren't familiar with.
While there, Scorpion spent a good long time hunting Quan Chi down before tracking him to a temple where he was surprised and thrown into something called a Soulnado, which is as ridiculous as it sounds, a massive conflux of souls traveling to the afterlife. He was very nearly ripped apart in the process. However, as all this was happening, an ancient evil known as Onaga had been freed, and so, the Elder Gods, sensing Scorpion's presence, made Scorpion their chosen warrior, empowered him, and tasked him with hunting down and slaying Onaga. Scorpion accepted the job in exchange for having the Elder Gods return his family and clan to life, but someone else got there first, so Onaga was defeated, but it was not at Scorpion's hands. Despite, or perhaps because of this, the Elder Gods held to their end of the bargain, reviving Scorpion's clan, as wraith-like creatures just like Scorpion himself was. Scorpion considered this a betrayal, and because of this fought against the Earthrealm warriors in the Battle of Armageddon, hoping to claim the godlike powers of the Blaze for himself so that he could revive his people properly. But, like almost everyone else, Scorpion died on that battlefield.
Which brings us to the timeline reboot. The Battle of Armageddon went so poorly for the forces of good that Raiden pulled some shenanigans and sent things back to the time of the Mortal Kombat tournament from the first Mortal Kombat game. In this new timeline, even though only events from Mortal Kombat 1 and onward should have changed, there is one major difference in Scorpion's story that needs to be noted. Hanzo Hasashi died with the rest of his clan when they were all killed by Quan Chi, though he was still somehow convinced that it was Bi-Han and the Lin Kuei that were responsible, rather than fighting Bi-Han alone elsewhere. Additionally, Quan Chi seems to have a bit more control over this version of Scorpion. Putting that aside, things start off very similarly, before the entire timeline veers off in a different direction very quickly. Scorpion still comes to the tournament, seeking Bi-Han's death, but this time he's approached by Raiden, who had been having visions of the future. Raiden believed that Bi-Han's death would lead to worse problems later, so he asked Scorpion not to kill Sub-Zero if and when the two fought. In return, Raiden would ask the Elder Gods to return the Shirai Ryu to life. With the restoration of his people in mind, Scorpion agreed, and when he defeated Sub-Zero, he planned to leave it at that. However, Quan Chi appeared at Scorpion's side, showing him images of the death of his clan, and specifically of Sub-Zero killing Scorpion's wife and child in cold blood. In a blind rage, Scorpion slew Sub-Zero, instantly regretting it afterwards, as he realized that his moment of satisfaction had cost him the returned lives of everyone he knew and loved. Scorpion appears only briefly for the rest of the game, fighting alongside Quan Chi against one of Earth's heroes, and then having an argument with Raiden later, who calls Scorpion out for not saving his family and clan as he could have.
Later, when Quan Chi's master, a rogue elder god named Shinnok, makes a play for Earth, Scorpion, as one of Quan Chi's revenant thralls, is put to work trying to help him conquer things. But Raiden is eventually able to co-opt Quan Chi's magic and returns a handful of Quan Chi's revenants, Scorpion included, back to life. These events happen roughly near the beginning of Mortal Kombat X, the most recent Mortal Kombat game, and a period of 20-some-odd years happens before the rest of the games picks up. That 20-plus year time span is covered by a series of comics in which Scorpion plays a relatively major part. Returned to life for the first time, Hanzo Hasashi finds that he still has full access to all of his nifty revenant powers, despite being, alive. However, In this version of reality, his powers are fueled by his guilt and grief over the loss of his family and clan, feelings that stir a need for blind vengeance within him. For this reason, the Scorpion aspect of his being and the Hanzo aspect coalesce into quasi-separate entities, though it may be more that they're just two parts of himself that he'd rather not mix than actually being split personalities. Either way, Hanzo spends years learning to suppress and control his Scorpion aspects, and in the wake of the interdimensional war that took place as a result of 2011's Mortal Kombat, he finds others that survived the conflict, those left with no families to speak of, left alone, just like himself, and reforms the Shirai Ryu, acting as the Grandmaster of the clan.
While doing this, he is entrusted with an artifact by Raiden, though Raiden lies about the nature of the object in question, which turns out to be a problem when, years later, a follower of Shinnok manages to corrupt the artifact in the Shirai Ryu's possession, as well as its sister artifacts elsewhere throughout the realms, which leads to one of Hanzo's pupils becoming corrupted and slaying all of the Shirai Ryu except for Scorpion and his star pupil, Takeda. Scorpion and Takeda put the wayward student down for good before seeking out Raiden for answers, and considering we're talking about Hanzo here, vengeance. After all, as far as Hanzo was concerned, Raiden just got the entire Shirai Ryu clan killed. Again. When he gets to Raiden, he finds the Thunder God corrupted by another of the artifacts, beats the tar out of him, helping to free Raiden from its control, and is then informed of the object's true nature, and is asked to help Raiden track down some of the others in the set. Long story short, this leads to Hanzo coming to terms with the two halves of his psyche, Hanzo and Scorpion, and he's able to live as a single person again, swearing to use his powers for justice and not to be consumed by rage, depression, or guilt any longer. Also, he might be immortal. They make an offhand comment that, combined with him seeming to come back from the dead, infers that possibility. But there's nothing solid.
Back to the Mortal Kombat X game, presumably sometime after these events, Hanzo is invited to the home of the Lin Kuei. By this point, the Lin Kuei too had been destroyed once, and like Hanzo, the younger Sub-Zero, Kuai Liang, had rebuilt his clan, acting as the Grandmaster for his own people. Once Hanzo arrived, Kuai Liang informed him that he had made a discovery about the truth of their clan's shared past. It is at this point that we discover that Quan Chi was responsible for wiping out the Shirai Ryu the first time. But we also learn that he did so for the Lin Kuei in return for their aid on a project of his. With this shared revelation, the two Grandmasters made an oath of peace with each other personally and on behalf of their clans, each clan having vowed individually to fight for the protection of Earthrealm already. Hanzo also swore he would ensure that Quan Chi paid for this treachery with his life.
So later, when Earth's heroes captured Quan Chi, hoping to be able to use him to fully revive the remaining revenants, just like Hanzo and a few others had been, Hanzo brought several of his ninjas, yes, he'd rebuilt the Shirai Ryu for a third time by this point, and requested that Quan Chi be delivered to him for execution. When everyone refused, Hanzo took Quan Chi from them by force, even after finding out why they needed him alive, and cut off Quan Chi's head, ending his life and any hope of returning their dead friends back to life. He also took long enough in the process for Quan Chi to summon Shinnok, the big bad for the game and the series as a whole. But at least after Shinnok wiped the floor with everyone present, Scorpion included, he was conscious enough to tell the latecomers where Shinnok had run off to, which is the last we see of Scorpion in Mortal Kombat X. We know we'll see him again come Mortal Kombat 11, but beyond some stinging words between his time-displaced selves and a lot of fire, we're not sure yet what role he will play. Though, based on his track record, vengeance will probably pop up somewhere. Just saying.
And that's basically Scorpion. Hanzo Hisashi, Grandmaster of the Shirai Ryu from the Mortal Kombat series. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave us a like and maybe share it with someone you think might enjoy it. If you have ideas for videos you'd like to see us do in the future, do like Ninjammer726 and David Marlin, and let us know in the comments down below. If you'd like to see more videos from us in the future, be they lore or Let's Play, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
In the meantime, this has been True Masters and Morons, signing off. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like it, hit this subscribe orb.
To see our last Let's Play, click or tap the link on the right.
For our last lore video, go to the link on the left.
And for a video chosen by the gods of YouTube from our channel, hit that link on top.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.